One of the most important ways to control your camera's exposure is ISO. ISO controls how sensitive your sensor is to light. The higher the number, the more sensitive the camera becomes, meaning you will need less light to get a decent exposure. The first thing to know about ISO is that each camera has its own ideal setting, or native ISO. That is where your camera performs best, and where you should try and keep it. If you change the ISO to be higher or lower than the ideal native ISO, you are applying digital grain, which will mean that you start getting problems with your image. For example, the camera filming me now is a Canon C100 with a native ISO of 850, which is what it's normally set at for these videos in order to get the best possible picture quality. Now though, we've raised the ISO up to 20,000 ISO, and you should be able to see some noise and other issues with the image. This is a far higher ISO than I would ever normally go. I have gone here to an extreme in order to show you this. Normally 3200 or 6400 would be what I would use in low light. Plus, remember that the results will always be different on different cameras and sensors. Some cameras might look fine at one certain ISO, whereas some might look really noisy. Now we're back at the native 850 ISO, and the image should look much better. So to recap, there's an ideal ISO setting for every camera. So that's something which you will want to research and find out, so that you know the native ISO of the camera that you're using. So you learn your native ISO, and if you need to go higher or lower than that setting, your image will get progressively worse, particularly when you go higher. The best way to change the exposure will always be by adjusting how much light is hitting the sensor, either by changing your aperture or your ND filters. But there will often be a point when you are filming in a dimly lit environment and you can't or don't want to open up your aperture any further. This is where you will want to raise up the ISO on your camera. It's common to shoot at ISOs of 1600 and 3200. Just remember to look out for extra noise in your image. Small monitors like the ones built onto cameras won't necessarily show the noise nearly as clearly as your computer screen will, so it's definitely worth experimenting with your camera. Take shots at different ISOs and then look at the results yourself on your computer at home, so that you can make up your own mind about how high you are prepared to push your ISO when you're out there shooting. If you're enjoying this series, please do make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the videos. And as always, please do leave a comment below if you have any questions at all, and I'll do my best to get back to you. Thanks for watching.